Welcome to your deep dive into Valle de Casablanca.
Oh, nice.
It's a Chilean wine region you might not know yet,
Okay.
but definitely one to watch, especially if you love white wines.
Oh, interesting.
Surprising, right, for Chile?
Yeah, you don't usually think of Chile for white wines.
Exactly.
More like big, bold reds.
Yeah, so we're going to use this sommelier's guide that you've provided
Okay.
to discover what makes this valley so unique and what kinds of flavors
Awesome.
we can expect from its wines.
You are in for a treat.
Oh, great.
This guide is a treasure trove of information.
Wonderful.
And Casablanca is a region that really overturns expectations.
Okay, so to set the scene,
Yeah.
where exactly is Casablanca located in Chile?
So imagine the Chilean coastline,
Okay.
about an hour west of Santiago.
Right.
And you'll find the Casablanca Valley nestled right between the coastal mountains
Okay.
and the Pacific Ocean. That location is key.
Being near the ocean, I'd imagine it's pretty warm and sunny,
Right.
which isn't usually what comes to mind.
Right. When we think about amazing white wines.
That's where the twist comes in.
Okay.
This part of the Pacific is dominated by the Humboldt Current.
The Humboldt Current.
Yeah, it's a cold current that brings in chilly air,
Wow.
creating a haven for cool climate grapes,
Oh.
even in a generally warmer country like Chile.
So even though it's chilly, it's not a scorching hot region.
Not at all. And there's another fascinating factor at play here,
Okay.
the Camanchaca.
Cananchaca.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It's this thick fog that rolls in from the ocean every morning.
Wow.
Blankets, the valley keeps things cool and moist.
Really?
Acts like a natural sunblock for the grapes.
A natural sunblock. We're
Quite cool, right?
talk about terroir.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if Casablanca is all about this cool climate.
Yeah.
How did its wine scene even begin?
Correct.
Chile is known for those big, bold reds, right?
Yeah, it's a story of pioneers, really.
Pioneer.
Back in the 1980s,
Okay.
some build winemakers decided to plant vineyards in Casablanca.
Wow.
It was a risky move. Risky how?
Well, at the time, nobody thought a cool climate region could thrive in Chile.
So they were swimming against the tide,
Absolutely.
going for something completely different.
Totally.
Oh.
And their inspiration came from the classic cool climate regions of Europe.
Okay.
Places like Burgundy and the Loire Valley,
Oh, nice.
known for their elegant white wines and lighter-bodied reds.
So they were looking to create something more refined,
Yes.
more European in style.
Exactly. They brought over grape varieties like Chardonnay,
Okay.
Sauvignon Blanc,
Yeah.
Pinot Noir specifically chosen to flourish in Casablanca's unique conditions.
Okay, I'm starting to see why this region is so intriguing.
Right.
It's intentionally going against what we think of as typical Chilean wine,
Precisely. And this brings us to one of the most important concepts in wine,
which is,
terroir.
terroir. I know it's more than just dirt,
It is.
but what does it really mean in the context of Casablanca?
In Casablanca, terroir is all about this interplay between the cool climate,
Okay.
the influence of the ocean.
And the unique characteristics of the soil? It's the recipe
Got it.
for what makes these wines so special.
So let's break it down. What makes Casablanca's terroir so unique?
Well, we already talked about the cool temperatures.
Yeah.
But it's not just that Casablanca also experiences a dramatic temperature swing
Okay.
between day and night. So the grapes get the warmth they need to ripen during the day,
Makes sense.
but those cool nights help them retain their acidity,
Okay.
which is key for producing balanced and complex wines.
That makes sense. It's like the perfect balance of sunshine and cool air.
Exactly.
What about the soil? What role does that play?
So Casablanca has a mix of soil types, but the two main players are granite
Okay.
and alluvial.
Alluvial.
Granite soils tend to lend a distinct minerality to the wines.
Minerality.
Think of it as a subtle stony quality.
Interesting.
Alluvial soils, on the other hand, are richer
Okay.
and contribute to more fruit-forward characteristics,
So even within this one valley, there's a lot of variation in the terroir.
which means a wider range of wine styles to explore.
Exactly. And that's one of the most exciting things about Casablanca.
I can imagine.
You can taste how these subtle variations in climate and soil are reflected in the final product.
All right, I'm ready to talk about the wines themselves.
Let's do it.
I'm especially intrigued by what this guide says about Sauvignon Blanc.
Get ready to be impressed.
Okay.
Sauvignon Blanc is the grape that put Casablanca on the map.
Wow.
It's incredibly well suited to the cool climate and expresses itself beautifully here.
Okay, give me a taste.
Yeah.
What does Casablanca Sauvignon Blanc taste like?
Imagine vibrant aromas of passion fruit,
Okay.
grapefruit,
Yeah.
and lime with maybe a hint of grassy or herbal notes.
Nice.
And thanks to those granite soils,
Yeah.
you often get this lovely minerality,
Okay.
a subtle taste that some describe as wet stone
Wow.
or crushed gravel.
That sounds incredibly refreshing.
It is.
I can almost taste it.
I know, right?
And what about Chardonnay? It's another classic cool climate grape.
It is.
How does a Casablanca Chardonnay compare to, say, a Californian Chardonnay?
Great question.
Thanks.
California Chardonnays are often known for a richer, buttery style.
Okay.
That comes from oak aging. But in Casablanca, the focus is on elegance and restraint.
Interesting.
They tend to be crisper and more mineral-driven with flavors of green apple,
Nice.
lemon zest,
Yeah.
and that signature touch of minerality.
So they're letting the grape and the terroir shine through
Exactly.
rather than masking it with oak.
Exactly. Some winemakers do use oak,
Okay.
but they do it very carefully just to add a touch of complexity
Right.
without overpowering the natural freshness of the fruit.
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Right? Letting the grape and the terroir express themselves fully.
I love that.
Okay, so far, it sounds like Casablanca is a haven for white wine lovers.
It is his.
But what about red wines? Are those completely out of the picture?
Not at all.
Okay.
While white grapes dominate, Pinot Noir is making a serious statement in Casablanca. Remember, Pinot Noir thrives in cool climates, so the conditions here are ideal
Got it.
for producing elegant Burgundian-style wines.
So we're talking about Pinot Noirs with that delicate,
yeah.
almost ethereal quality.
Exactly. Think delicate red fruit flavors like cherries,
Okay.
raspberries, and maybe even a hint of cranberries.
Oh, nice.
The cool climate preserves the acidity, so the wines have this bright, lively character.
Okay, so we've got Sauvignon Blanc Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
We do.
But is there anything else this region has up its sleeve? Any surprises in store?
There are a few. Syrah, although relatively new to Casablanca, is showing a lot of promise.
Oh, cool.
But it's quite different from the big jammy Syrahs you might find from warmer climates.
So what's a cool climate Syrah like? I'm really curious now.
Think brighter red fruits, things like red currants and pomegranate,
Okay.
alongside peppery spice and sometimes even a floral note like violets.
Interesting.
They're lighter in body but still complex and incredibly intriguing.
Wow, that sounds really unique. And given
Yeah.
that we're talking about a cool climate,
Yeah.
is there any potential for sparkling wine?
Absolutely. The combination of cool temperatures
Yeah.
and certain grape varieties, mainly Chardonnay and Pinot Noir,
Okay.
can create fantastic sparkling wines.
Really?
Casablanca is still in the early stages of exploring this, but the potential is definitely there.
Okay, so this is a region that's not just resting on its laurels.
Nope.
They're actively pushing boundaries. It sounds like there's a lot of innovation happening in Casablanca.
That's a great observation.
Thanks.
There's exciting research underway into new grape varieties that could thrive here.
Like what?
One to watch is Albarino,
Albarino.
a Spanish white grape
Okay.
that's known for its crisp aromatic wines.
So Casablanca is like a dynamic,
Very.
ever-evolving wine region. They're not afraid to experiment and see what works.
Exactly. It's that forward-thinking approach that makes Casablanca so exciting.
Yeah, I can see that.
But let's not forget that producing wine in a cool coastal climate isn't easy. Right.
Where are some serious challenges that these winemakers have to overcome?
I bet. What are some of the hurdles they face in Casablanca?
Think frost,
For her?
humidity from the ocean,
Yeah.
and the constant pressure to manage costs in a region where nature throws curveballs.
So it's not just about planting grapes and hoping for the best.
Not at all. These winemakers have to be incredibly skilled and adaptable
Wow.
to navigate these challenges. That's part of what makes these wines so special.
I'm ready to hear more.
Okay.
What do these winemakers actually do to overcome these obstacles
Right.
and create such incredible wines?
Yeah. We'll take frost, for example.
Yeah.
It's a constant threat in a cool climate like Casablanca.
Yeah, I can imagine.
To combat this, some winemakers use wind machines.
In machines.
Yeah, these tall towers that basically mix the air
Wow.
and prevent those damaging cold pockets from forming.
So it's pretty high tech.
It is. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's amazing to think of the technology and ingenuity
Right?
involved in producing these wines. What about managing humidity?
Right.
It sounds like that's a constant battle with the fog rolling in from the ocean.
You're right. That Camanchaca fog we talked about brings in a lot of moisture,
Yeah.
which can lead to fungal diseases
Oh, no.
that can harm the grapes.
I see.
So canopy management becomes crucial.
Okay.
It's kind of like giving the vines a strategic haircut.
So they prune the vines to allow more sunlight and airflow,
Yeah,
reducing the risk of those diseases.
exactly. They also carefully position the leaves to make sure the grapes get just the right amount of sunlight.
Oh, I see.
It's a delicate balance.
Right.
too much sun can scorch the grapes.
Yeah, of course.
But too little will prevent them from ripening properly.
So there's a lot of skill and artistry involved in cultivating these grapes.
Absolutely.
It's more than just planting them and letting nature take its course.
It's a year-round dance with nature.
Wow.
And these winemakers have to be incredibly attuned to the nuances of their vineyards.
I see.
They're constantly making adjustments to ensure the grapes reach their full potential. And I'm guessing all this meticulous care and attention comes at a cost.
It does. Producing wine in Casablanca, especially with this level of dedication to quality, isn't cheap.
Right.
You have the labor involved in all this hands-on vineyard work.
Yeah.
Plus the cost of the technology they use to combat frost and disease, it all adds up.
So when we enjoy a glass of Casablanca Sauvignon Blanc, we're not just tasting the grapes and the terroir.
No.
We're also tasting the dedication and effort of the people who created it.
That's such a great point. It's a reminder that there's a human story behind every bottle of wine.
Yes.
A story of passion and perseverance.
This deep dive has definitely given me a whole new appreciation for what goes in my glass of wine.
That's great to hear.
And speaking of getting from the vineyard to the glass, let's shift gears and talk about the winemaking process in Casablanca.
Okay.
This guide mentions a real emphasis on freshness.
Yeah.
On preserving the natural vibrancy of those cool climate grapes.
Yes, that's a key element of Casablanca winemaking. You'll see a lot of stainless steel tank fermentation for the white wines.
Okay.
Which helps to retain those bright, crisp flavors.
And that's because stainless steel doesn't impart any additional flavors, right?
Right.
It's all about letting the pure essence of the grapes shine through.
Precisely. It allows those lovely citrus notes, the passion fruit, and those herbaceous nuances we discussed to take center stage.
So stainless steel for the whites. What about oak? Is that completely off the table?
Not entirely for some. Chardonnay, a touch of oak aging can add complexity and roundness.
Okay.
But it's used very judiciously.
I see.
The goal is to enhance the wine without masking the beautiful fruit flavors.
It's all about balance.
It is.
Letting the grape and the terroir express themselves fully.
Yeah, I love that.
What about the red wines, especially Pinot Noir? Is oak used there?
Oak definitely plays a role in Pinot Noir production.
Okay.
But again, finesse is key.
Okay.
Winemakers often choose French oak barrels known for their subtle, spicy character, which complements the delicate fruit flavors of the Pinot Noir beautifully.
So they're not going for those big, overpowering oak flavors that you sometimes find in other Pinot Noirs.
No, it's all about integration and harmony. They want the oak to add structure and complexity without overshadowing the natural beauty of the grape.
Yeah, this sommelier's guide you shared mentions that sustainability is becoming increasingly important in Casablanca.
Absolutely. And it's not just a buzzword in Casablanca.
Yeah.
There's a genuine commitment to environmental stewardship and preserving the land for future generations.
So it's about more than just marketing. They're actually implementing sustainable practices.
Oh, definitely. Water conservation is a major focus.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Especially in a region with a dry climate, many wineries are adopting drip irrigation systems.
Oh, drip irrigation.
Which deliver water directly to the vine roots.
Oh, wow.
Minimizing waste.
That makes a lot of sense. What other sustainable practices are they embracing?
Organic and biodynamic farming are gaining momentum as well. These approaches involve reducing or eliminating the use of synthetic pesticides and herbicides.
Okay.
Focusing instead on natural methods to maintain soil health and promote biodiversity.
It sounds like they're really thinking holistically about their impact on the environment.
They are.
So choosing a Casablanca wine can actually be a vote for eco-conscious practices.
Exactly. You can savor these wines knowing that they're produced with respect for the land.
Yeah.
And a focus on long-term sustainability.
Now, this sommelier's guide is clearly aimed at wine enthusiasts with all the details about tasting notes and vineyard practices.
Right.
But for someone who's just beginning to explore Chilean wines, where would you suggest they start with Casablanca?
The Sauvignon Blanc is a fantastic gateway.
Sauvignon Blanc.
It's the grape that truly captures the essence of Casablanca, that vibrancy, that zesty freshness.
Yeah.
And it's a wine that can be enjoyed by both seasoned connoisseurs and those just starting their wine journey.
So Sauvignon Blanc for a first taste?
Yeah.
But what if someone is looking for something a bit more complex, a wine with more depth?
Then I'd steer them towards a Chardonnay.
Chardonnay?
Perhaps one that has seen a little bit of oak aging.
Oh.
It will still have that signature Casablanca freshness,
Right.
but with additional layers of texture and flavor.
And for those who prefer red wines?
A Casablanca Pinot Noir is a must-try.
Pinot Noir.
It's a grape that thrives in cool climates, and the Pinot Noirs from this region are elegant, nuanced,
Nice.
and beautifully expressive of the terroir.
So no matter your preference,
Mm-hmm.
Casablanca has a wine waiting to be discovered.
I agree.
It's a region that overturns our expectations of Chilean wine
It does.
and offers a truly unique and rewarding experience.
I completely agree. It's a reminder that there's always something new to discover in the world of wine,
Yeah, for sure.
and that sometimes the most exciting finds are in places we least expect.
Now, we've talked a lot about the wines themselves,
We have.
but this sommelier's guide also highlights the tourism potential of Casablanca.
And rightly so. It's a stunningly beautiful region with so much to offer beyond the world of wine.
Paint us a picture what makes Casablanca such an appealing destination for travelers.
Imagine rolling vineyards set against a backdrop of majestic mountains, the fresh scent of the ocean in the air.
Sounds idyllic. I can almost feel the cool ocean breeze.
Exactly. And the proximity to the coast means you can easily combine a wine tour with a relaxing day at the beach.
Okay, you've convinced me Casablanca is officially on my travel bucket list.
Great.
But what are some different ways someone could experience the region? What kind of options are there for visitors?
Well, there's something for everyone, really, if you're looking for a classic wine touring experience.
Okay.
You can visit some of the larger, well-established wineries. Many of them offer beautiful tasting rooms, guided tours, and stunning views of the vineyards.
So you can sip on Sauvignon Blanc while taking in the scenery. Sounds perfect.
Absolutely. But for those seeking a more intimate, off-the-beaten-path experience,
Yeah.
there are plenty of boutique wineries tucked away in the valley.
What's the allure of visiting those smaller boutique wineries? What makes them special?
Boutique wineries offer a chance to connect directly with the winemakers.
Oh, wow.
Hear their stories and taste wines that you won't find anywhere else.
It sounds like a much more personalized, intimate experience.
Exactly. And many of these boutique wineries are also leading the way
Yeah.
in terms of sustainable practices.
Oh, nice.
So you can feel good about supporting their commitment to the environment.
So we've got the classic wine tour route and the boutique winery option.
We do.
Anything else a visitor should consider adding to their Casablanca itinerary?
Well, Casablanca is becoming a real foodie destination.
Really?
There are fantastic restaurants popping up that focus on fresh local ingredients.
Okay.
And many of them offer wine pairings that showcase the region's best bottles.
So you can indulge in delicious food and incredible wine all in one place. Talk about a win-win.
Absolutely. It's a sensory experience that shouldn't be missed. You can really get a taste of what Casablanca is all about.
Now, the sommelier's guide has clearly painted a very positive picture of Casablanca,
It has.
but it also acknowledges some of the challenges the region faces.
Right. It doesn't shy away from some of the tougher realities of wine production.
Yeah.
Especially in a cool climate region like this one.
So what are some of the obstacles that Casablanca winemakers have to overcome?
Well, we've already talked about frost and humidity.
Right.
Those are constant threats that require ongoing vigilance and innovative solutions.
And there's the economic reality as well, right?
Yes.
Producing high-quality wine, especially with sustainable practices, is not inexpensive.
Exactly. Balancing quality with affordability is an ongoing challenge for winemakers everywhere, and Casablanca is no exception.
But even with these challenges, this guide conveys a real sense of optimism about the future of Casablanca.
I agree, and I think that optimism stems from the collaborative spirit of the winemakers in Casablanca.
Okay.
They're committed to working together, sharing knowledge, and constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It's like they're all on this journey together, raising the bar for the entire region.
That's a great way to put it. And that shared passion and commitment to excellence are really inspiring.
So looking ahead, what do you think the future holds for Casablanca? Where do they go from here?
Well, the research into new grape varieties is incredibly exciting. We talked about Albarino.
Yeah.
But there are other promising grapes being explored that could add even more diversity and complexity to Casablanca's wines.
And that ties back to their spirit of innovation, doesn't it?
It does.
They're not afraid to experiment and see what new possibilities they can unlock.
Exactly. And as the global climate changes, Casablanca, with its mastery of cool climate winemaking,
Right.
could become a model for other regions facing similar challenges.
It's almost like they're ahead of the curve, showing the world how to produce exceptional wines in a sustainable way, even as the climate throws curveballs.
That's a great observation. It's a reminder that embracing challenges, pushing boundaries, and working in harmony with nature can lead to truly remarkable results.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Given everything we've learned about Casablanca, the terroir, the challenges, the commitment to sustainability, that innovative spirit,
Yeah.
what do you think the wines from this region will taste like in, say, 10 or 20 years?
That's a fascinating question.
Hmm?
I think we'll see even more refinement, more nuance, and more complexity
Wow.
as winemakers continue to hone their skills and experiment with new techniques.
Uh-huh.
I believe Casablanca wines will become even more expressive of their unique terroir.
So we might start seeing wines labeled not just Casablanca Sauvignon Blanc, but something more specific,
Yeah.
like Sauvignon Blanc from the granite slopes of,
Yep.
insert subregion here or something like that.
Exactly. That kind of terroir-driven labeling could become more common,
Yeah.
which would be really exciting for wine lovers. It would allow them to delve even deeper into the nuances of this region
Right.
and appreciate the subtle variations in flavor that different terroirs can produce.
It would be like each bottle tells a more specific story about the place where it was grown.
I love that.
But beyond the exciting developments in the vineyard, this sommelier's guide really emphasizes the human element, that passion and dedication of the people who make these wines.
That passion is palpable.
It is.
It comes through in the wines themselves. They're not just making a beverage.
Right.
They're creating something truly special, something that reflects their deep connection to the land and their commitment to excellence.
And that comes through in the glass, doesn't it?
It does.
You can taste that care, that attention to detail, that love that's gone into each bottle.
Absolutely. When you taste a Casablanca wine, you're not just tasting grapes and fermentation.
Yeah.
You're tasting the vision and the hard work of the people who made it happen. You're tasting their story.
Well, I think it's safe to say that after this deep dive, we're both ready to book a flight to Chile and explore those vineyards for ourselves.
I'm right there with you. And when you do go, I encourage you to really immerse yourself in the region. Talk to the winemakers, walk through the vineyards, savor the local cuisine.
It's about experiencing Casablanca with all your senses.
Exactly. It's about understanding the full story behind these wines, the terroir, the people, the passion. That's when wine truly comes alive.
So, dear listener, as you open your next bottle of Casablanca wine, remember that it's more than just a drink.
It is.
It's a taste of a place, a testament to human ingenuity, and a reminder that the world of wine is full of surprises.
And with its cool climate mastery and dedication to sustainability, Casablanca might just offer a glimpse into the future of winemaking.
Wow, it's quite a statement.
It's a region that's breaking boundaries, exceeding expectations, and crafting wines that are both delicious and thought-provoking.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Valley Casablanca.
It was my pleasure.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring this remarkable region with us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep raising a glass to the wonders of the wine world.